But I called in the Holy Spirit and God beforehand, and I was praying to Jesus, like, please just let you flow through me and none of me and all of you. And I've been getting messages for the past week. And something I would like to say is I released 2 videos, and the devil put so much fear in me to release them because there was so much truth in it that it's like the devil would not stop irritating me after, almost like someone was doing witchcraft on me to make me take these videos down because of what's truly going on. Now, regardless of my situation or anyone else's situation, we can all be going through similar things, and we are all human beings. And regardless of who we are, there are things that are going to happen to us throughout this life. And something God put in my spirit so heavily is like, if he keeps telling you something, whether it's him and you're constantly questioning it, being like, is this God? Is it something else? Should I trust this voice? If you keep getting a terrible feeling, which could be fear based, it could be from somebody else that doesn't want you to go towards these things. I don't know why relationship aspects, I haven't been in a relationship in years, but it keeps coming up to me, and that's how I know it's something that God wants me to relate. Whether it be friendships, parents, or loved ones, when people show you who they are, no matter how many times you forgive them, believe that. Even though that may not be that person fully, and they may be taken over, it does not mean continue to put yourself in that situation. So, something that's so important in this message is forgiveness is important, but it does not mean let the people that keep hurting you disrespect you. If someone's going to continue to harm you or hurt you in some way, and they say sorry, or you keep forgiving them, or you're waiting for God to make this person better, don't trust them again. You can forgive people without trusting them again. If someone makes mean comments in front of a friend, I know this is for someone right now. If you have a friend group and someone makes jokes at your expense and they're laughing at things and they're going to be like, oh, you didn't think that's funny when it's at your expense? There is no reason for you. You can just say, in the calmest tone possible, because then you'll get their true reaction. No, I didn't think that was funny. I mean, I don't know why that would be funny. If you say that, they're most likely going to lose their crap if they had ill intent towards you. Forgiveness does not mean letting people back in that constantly want to harm you. I don't know if it's one person or a whole group of people. I feel like it's a whole group that need to hear this. You can forgive people and you can feel it from the bottom of your heart. And when you feel that from the bottom of your heart, it doesn't mean, okay, let me keep letting them back in. Let me keep taking care of this person. Let me keep being the punching bag to this person. It means you forgive them. And you pray and you wish the best for them, but then you let it go. People can come forward later on and they can try to be there for you and make you want to gain trust in them. And the thing is, people can change. And some people will acknowledge what they did wrong to you. But a lot of those people that did wrong to you aren't going to understand until they have to understand, until they go through some things. But it is not your responsibility to keep carrying the weight of what people put on you when they're only trying to harm you, and you have that loving heart where you keep forgiving them. Forgiveness isn't just for you and them, but genuinely, forgiveness does not mean letting certain people back in. Just because you forgive someone does not mean you let them back in. People are so twisted and wicked. something from the experience. I almost said experiment because that's what it feels like. The experience I'm going through right now. This person, they know my beliefs. They know what I listen to. They know what I like. And they know how I talk, considering I have a YouTube. This person comes up to me every day and they still put on an act. And they literally recite word from word, like things I say on my YouTube, they recite it back to me. When it comes to diet, everything else, and they're like, well, I just want the Holy Spirit and Jesus to be closer to me. But when they say it, they're saying it in a joking voice. And with the heart God gave me, I try to love everyone, and I'm so excited for them in that sense. But last night when it hit me, God almost like slapped me in the face, and he's like, F off. He's like, I know you know that was a joke right now. And I was like, I didn't want to, because I literally was praising God like an hour before that. Like, my prayers worked. This person's looking up stuff about God because their YouTube comes up on my TV. And I was like, this is awesome. I started crying because I was like, my prayers worked. And I was giving God so much glory. And then that night, this person came by my bedroom and they, like, I don't know how dumb they think I am, but the way they said it, and even though, like, we started getting along more, and, like, I was so happy about it because I don't really have anyone in my life or any family, and I was just so grateful, and I was like, I love this person so much. That's why I took the past 2 videos down, because I don't want this person to seem like a bad person, because in my heart, I truly don't want to believe it. But God will continue to show you that this person doesn't have your best interest. You can try to bring people closer to God. You can try to forgive people over and over again, but that does not mean they're going to stop hurting you. It doesn't mean they're going to stop putting something in your belongings. And what sucks the most is when you talk about this stuff and it's just either you don't have anyone or no one wants to believe you because you're too much of a burden for them to listen to. They think your existence, your being on this planet, or them even talking to you is a burden. So put it off to this person that is extremely abusing this person, and let's make it seem okay. This person helped you so much. Doesn't that give them the most reason to want to hurt somebody else? Just saying. If someone spent so many resources, so much time over someone that ended up not wanting to be with them, don't you think that would be the most cause for an unexplained death? Genuinely, I am concerned about quite a few of you because this is stuff I don't want to get on and say. Because I know not only it can worsen my situation or make me look bad, but for the past week and a half, I tried making multiple videos and I made them private. I kept trying to get out what God was trying to tell me, and I was like, is this just me? Like, is this just happening to me? And God keeps planning it in me. Like, this is not just happening to you. Stop being selfish. This is not just happening to you. Other people need to hear this. And I was like, well, what if it makes me look bad? What if it's this? What if it's that? It doesn't matter. There's other people going through this right now, and there's certain people that you keep forgiving, and forgiveness is extremely important, but it does not mean trust these people ever again. Never trust them again. Some of these people will put on the biggest act in front of you, and there's something inside you where you love these people so much you want to believe it, and you keep forgiving them, and God has truly changed your heart. But that does not mean forgive these people. I mean, it means forgive them, but it does not mean trust them. Trust and forgiveness are 2 very different things. And it does not mean trust these people and over again. And yes, people can change, but it doesn't mean that they're going to stop. Some people will adapt to who you are and study who you are and learn what you've learned. They'll spend hours reading the things you've learned so they can come off like they're so changed. But your soul, that instinct inside you, God, the Holy Spirit inside you, whether you're religious or not, God is still with you, whether you believe in him right now or not. God is with you, he loves you, and he forgives you. But I'm telling you now, even when I was in the tarot community and like totally going towards spirituality because I craved God in my life and I thought that was God, he's not going to leave you. All of us are on our different journeys and paths. And just because I stopped tarot recently, I will say this, doesn't mean it's other people's time to stop. God has a different plan for all of us, and they will know when it is their time to stop. But if they feel convicted with warnings over and over, I recommend listening to that. Now, I did write down a few things because I knew I wasn't going to be able... I wanted to channel what I was getting. But also, please know this. If you're channeling and you are saying we and stuff like that, I watched someone earlier, and I love this guy. But when he spoke about starting to channel and going into channeling, he started describing himself in third person and saying, we, the galactic something, are speaking about this. And that's when it hit me, and I had to start praying for him, because that's what demons do. When I first started this channel, that's what was happening to me. And my grandpa Warren, that also had deaf premonitions and clairvoyance and clairaudience like me, he warned me about it. Because I was like, this is a gift. I was like, I'm getting all this stuff. And I started using tarot cards to figure out what I was all getting. And my grandpa Warren, and like I said, all of us are on our different paths. So tarot readers that are doing this now, it doesn't mean it's God's time for them to stop. But if you feel convicted on it, that's a different thing. Because God told me to immediately, abruptly stop and start reading the Bible. And I was like, are you kidding me right now? You told me to open this page. Makes sense later. But I don't want anyone to come after any tarot readers, because I love the tarot community and I love those people. And I think that God can use multiple people in different ways. And it's all of their own journey. We're all on our own journey, so we can't really compare ourselves to anyone else or try to bring anyone else down. We are all on our own journey. So even if like you're a really heavy Christian or Catholic and you're like, that's just demonic, it's like, do you know God's plan? Because God could be using that person to get to so many people, because when they do turn to Jesus, it's going to help all those people following them. You don't know. So we can't underestimate or overestimate what God is capable of, because our happiness is not God's happiness. That's something I wrote down. Hold on. I was in Bible study before I did all this, and something popped up on my phone, and I was like, I had to leave and like completely focus on what I was given. But forgiveness is important, but letting people disrespect you is not. Some friends or family, whatever it may be, regarding whatever happens in your situation, does not make it okay for people to continuously use you, bring you down, make jokes at your expense, or hurt you in front of other people. For the most part, those people need therapy, or they need counseling, or they're very insecure. If someone is trying to bring you down in front of a group of people or anyone, that person feels threatened by you. Or they're scared that somebody likes you instead of them. Sirens are going off by my house. So with Paul in Acts 2, it's like they were calling him, they were like, so do you think you're a whitewashed wall now? And in Acts, the whitewashed wall, 29:11 on the clock, means they seem innocent, but inside they are rotting. I made videos last night and I ended up not posting them, and now I know why God made me wait and made me start channeling first and then get to this part, and just made me do a Bible study so I could get this. Okay, so it's like a whitewashed wall. People think that this person is innocent because they look this clean, clear color on the outside, a whitewashed wall. You can make anything rotten look beautiful on the outside, as long as you put enough plaster and paint over it. In a dream I had from 2 to 3 nights ago, And I'm not going to say the people that were in my dream because it's not relevant to any of you, except for the people watching that know me and they know who they are in the dream. But that's not the point. I made about 3 videos last night and the fear took over me to not post it. And it was like, you are not safe yet. Do not post this yet. And you listen to that. Even though the devil can come in and try to make you fearful so you don't get messages across. That's what's been happening to me lately. But right now, like, I was about to go do stuff and I knew I was supposed to get on now because all the stuff started hitting me. And it's like in this stream I had, and I meditated and prayed over the stream. God made me make 3 videos over the stream and I still didn't post it. And now I know why, because it's intertwining with all this stuff. So in this dream, there was this woman. She dressed very provocatively. She was wearing fishnet stockings, all this other stuff. But in the dream, so imagine you are me, please, because if I'm relaying this, it's only because God is trying to reach someone else. So if you can put yourself in my shoes and pretend this is your dream. So I'm sitting there and there's an ex-friend I had that was very into witchcraft in the past. She was such a good friend of mine, but the more I got convicted, the more God was telling me stuff, and I knew something wasn't right. There was something malicious and shady. And this person even brought me a birthday cake on my birthday like 4 years ago now. And she was so nervous and scared when I was eating this cake. She wouldn't have any. She had about a bite, and my roommate only had a bite too. Now, all 3 of us were friends since high school, middle school. And we all 3 lost a friend, maybe to them, maybe not. I'm not even going to get into this part because it is so twisted and demonic and sick. The other friend died. But anyways, so God bless her. And I got so sick after I ate this cake. And ever since I started bringing food back to my house, I started getting sick. And no matter how much I wanted to believe and trust this person, no matter how many times I forgave them, knowing my shampoo, conditioner, food, constantly, all that stuff over and over again was tampered with. I kept forgiving and I said, God is going to handle it. I start praying for this person to get close to God. And recently, I pray to God started to. Very good at acting, though, if you're still doing bad stuff. But God, like the past few days, I just wanted to believe them. And I was like, I love this person so much. I've always loved this person. And I don't have really anyone in my life. If I'm lucky on occasion, I get to see my dad. And no offense, I love my father very much. But my father is usually annihilated and has to drink wherever we go. So that's difficult, but not the point. And I pray he gets better so much. I pray for that every night. So like all the prayers I've said, for some reason it looked like this person, like my prayers were actually being answered. They started reading the Bible. Because the YouTube is hooked up to theirs too on the TV. So like their recent watch history will be on there. And I was trying to watch a movie the other day. And I went to go back to the watch history. And it was all this stuff about God and what happens if you disobey God. What happens if you mock God. All this stuff's on there. And last night, this person came in my room. I've known this person since 14. And their words, and they were trying so hard not to laugh. When I was like, hey, I got some chicken nuggets, because I love chicken nuggets. I love chicken nuggets, I love mac and cheese, I love all that stuff. So I got a few of those belongings and ice cream sandwiches. And I brought them home last night when I went to get this cat food. When I did that, they said a few things out of the door, and my soul, my spirit just knew something was so off. Like, I didn't want it to be. I was excited they were home, and I told them I was excited you're home. And when they came to the door, and this could be so relevant to someone else, like, be careful what you tell people. If you have a platform online, people can try to make up things they like so they can get close to you. This person stands at my door and goes, Oh yeah, sorry. I'm not trying to eat anything with, like, this is stuff I've said to this person. Stuff with any chemicals or drink anything or eat anything like this or that because, and the way they said it was exactly like this. I just want the Holy Spirit and God to completely fill me up. And it sounded like such a mockery. And I couldn't, it's very hard for me to be fake. I don't know if I'm autistic, completely honest or what. Because when people do certain things, I'm just like, I don't think that's funny. I can't explain it. But I have autistic people in my family and in my life that were very much alike. Anyways, also, shout out to the autistic mystic because before I stopped watching tarot, I used to love him. Anyways, when this person said this at the door, my whole body knew. Not only they were lying and it was a joke, but what was happening to me was not going to happen. Because for the past 3 days, when stuff has been happening to my stuff, and we started getting closer, I thought we were, God kept coming down, or my intuition, whatever you guys want to believe in, kept coming down and hitting me and was like, do not trust her. Do not trust her. Do not believe her. Do not eat any of your stuff. And I didn't believe it. And then I started getting violently sick again. And the only time I bleed out of my bowels is when I eat food around this person, or I leave food out around this person. And then this morning, I was in the middle of writing back to someone. And you know how like phone notifications can come up on the top of your phone and go down like over and over? Well, I was not trying to click on any of this. I was trying to click something else. And at the same time I tried to click, Bailey Sarrigan came up. I've loved her forever. But she came up and it was about how a woman was poisoning someone because if I can't have you, no one else can. And that's exactly what came up. I'm getting not to say this, but our friend that passed away, if I can't have you, nobody else can. I have tried to pray on that so many times and just think that I'm wrong. The main message is like, you can forgive people, but that never means trust them again. 2222 on the clock. People can fake 3113. People can fake mirrored numbers. You could be mirroring someone, but people can think that people are getting better or changing. And the weird thing that abusive people will do, this is so important for someone, or if you know someone in an abusive relationship, when things randomly start getting so much better and you're like, oh my gosh, is this working? Like, are things really getting better? They seem like they're trying so hard. It could be the complete opposite, to where they're trying to get away with it. I have lost sleep over this message for multiple nights because I was praying to God, like, is this just for me? And he said, absolutely not. And that is what's stressing me out so bad, because it's like, how can I come on and articulate what God is giving me, with one, out seeming crazy, or two, just making this seem about myself when I know there's other people going through this. And that's what scares me. It's like, how can I articulate something so sensitive, so emotional, without seeming like a twat or like something's just about me, when I swear to God, he's telling me it's multiple people. And that is what is devastating me. So I did write some things down. I'm going to try to get them out. So forgiveness is important, but letting people disrespect you over and over again is not. Some friends or family, whatever it may be, regarding whatever happens or keeps happening to you in your particular situation, does not make it okay for people to abuse you or bring you down or make jokes at your expense in front of other people. Whitewashed wall. They seem innocent, but on the inside they are rotting. This person is putting, and that was the dream. I apologize. I started going off on one. I have ADHD, and I've never taken medicine for it. But in the dream, the girl that used to be my friend, so remember, imagine you are me. Because God told me to tell you it this way, because otherwise I don't know how you're going to take it. Imagine you are me. In the dream, you have an old friend that was really into witchcraft and other things. And then there's a guy that you and him or you and her were attracted to each other at some point, or there was maybe a twin flame, whatever weird connection it was, don't trust this person either. But there was a weird connection between you and this person. Over time, even though you left the situation, got over it, everything else, this person was about to leave their old partner because they were realizing who you were to them, what you meant to them. And in the dream I had, the ex-partner and your friend that you never thought would even know this other girl or this other guy, this other person, they started working together, following this person around in cars and other things. They were dressing very provocatively, and they also tried making the opposite gender think they were so innocent and that you were attacking them. Swear on my soul. And it was the other way around. These people would not stop attacking you. And they wanted to play victim so bad. To the point where you could have possibly looked crazy. To the point where you could have got fired. To the point where you could have got suspended at your job. Because this person was so threatened by you that they wanted to play victim. When all you had to do was exist. Whitewashed wall. They seem innocent, but they are hiding and they are rotten on the inside. And in my dream, there was multiple guys that wouldn't listen to these girls anymore because they're like, I don't care about this. Like, what? This doesn't even matter. This isn't my drama. They didn't care. But there was one guy in particular, and I don't know if it was the guy that she was getting away from or dumping, or he was dumping her, or he finally saw past her witchcraft. Because this girl was keeping this man in heavy, heavy witchcraft, manipulating the crap out of him. Like to the point where this guy would fight other people for her. He would believe every word he said. His lust was so insane for her because of all the witchcraft. Like, we live in such a spiritual world. I don't think you understand or know if you're new to this or anything else, but like the spiritual is so much more real than the physical 3D we see. Witchcraft, unfortunately, is very, very real. But when you turn to God and Jesus, not only will he protect you, maybe some things get in the way, but remember, God uses everything we go through that the devil thinks he's winning as glory. And we also battle with principalities, not flesh and blood. So most of these MFers are taken over by spirits. No matter how much you pray for them or anything else, they will not find God unless they're ready to. I thought my prayers were working for someone, and it's just not stopping. And I would be a fool to think that this insanity would just stop happening. Because insanity is something that happens over and over again and you believe it's going to change. It's not. And that's why in the video before I removed it, it's like women can be very abusive in relationships. And in this dream, like this girl, not only were they doing so much witchcraft and making you look terrible, remember to pray on anything. And remember I said, like, for my dream, imagine it is you, because this is what I got told to tell from God, from whatever higher spirit you want to believe in. Like, this was so heavy, and I waited the past few days. I was going to make multiple videos last night, but it struck me so hard now. Like, someone needs to know forgiveness is necessary and important, but it does not mean keep trusting this person or these people over and over again, because you do not deserve that disrespect. And some people genuinely have terrible plans for you that you would never expect, but jealousy and envy exist, especially the closer you get to God. That will happen. And if you are in any kind of sin or anything like that, no matter how much you're praying, everything else, it does leave a door for the devil come in and to use those people closest to you to attack you. So you can be attacked, but just know, like, your life has purpose, and until your purpose is done, you are going to be here, unless you continuously disobey, which can be hard, but keep praying for forgiveness and all that. I've been disobeying lately, and it's been really tough. Some things you just want to numb yourself from because it hurts so bad. Like the worst stab in the heart. Like I haven't smoked weed in a long time and I just started to again. Just getting out of that. I'm going to finish the list. But what God tells you, believe. When God gives you that sense or understanding that something's coming for you, something good is going to happen, believe him. Because all things work together for the good of those that love him. And this is where people can get really tripped up. Anyone that loves God and you're obeying him, or even if you backslide sometimes, anything, all those work for the good of those that love him. What happens is going to work for his good, for his glory. And that's where a lot of people can get stagnant or confused with that, because it can piss a lot of people off. This is in Acts with Paul. But God's good is a different definition from our good. So all things work for people that love God. All things will work for his good. But his good doesn't mean our good. And what I said in an earlier video too is we do not understand his ways because his ways are so much higher than our own. And you'll thank him later, but you might not in the moment. But like, for instance, when I was on probation, when I went to jail, when I had to do multiple things in my life, when I was homeless, I couldn't see anything good in those. But it was for his greater glory and good. Because there's a lot of people that are in those situations that think that they can never get out and think that no one will ever love them or nothing good can ever come out of it. And it does if you let him work through you. God does things for our greater good, even if it's not our good. So the things that are happening to you right now, and you love God, trust me when I say God is going to use your pain and your experiences for his greater good, even if it doesn't seem like our good at the time. Because his ways are so much higher than our own that it is literally like a baby trying to understand calculus. We're not going to get it in the moment. But as you grow up, you will. Hey Charles, how are you, honey? And I just wanted to say thank you for being such an awesome supporter. Genuinely, thank you. I get excited when I see your emojis. You always put such a plethora of emojis, and it reminds me of a family member I really love, so thank you for that. His definition of good. If you could see my handwriting, you would understand, but... And it's not like God doesn't want you to be happy. I've had near-death experiences, but I believe like on our planet, I'm going to get out of this because there's someone that needs to hear a message that I have been channeled. And I just don't want to get into this. I'm going to try to get everything out he's been trying to tell me. Give me 1 second. I can't rush what I'm getting. God, somebody needs to be careful. This person is not your friend. Another good way to notice is, even if you go to hang out or anything else like that, they can't hide how they truly feel for the most part. They can fake it, say fake words, they can pretend to look really happy in front of you, but the second anything irritates them a little, they're gonna look so annoyed, so frustrated. Okay, I just said in my head, like, do you really want me to say this? And I got yes. But there could be someone that is attracted to the opposite sex. And that person could like you or like somebody else. And they have been trying to, like, block this connection at all cost. This could be someone that doesn't even want to admit that they're into the opposite sex. But they're terrified the person they've always been in love with will go to you. And I keep getting, it's like, this person's like, don't even try. Don't even try. Getting principalities. This person could be interested in their best friend, but this best friend's already in a relationship with another person. And the main person that is interested in their best friend has a relationship with this person over here. And this person over here that is with this person that doesn't want this person to be in a relationship with anyone else and it's the same sex, this person can be blaming you and telling their girlfriend or boyfriend. The boyfriend or girlfriend can think it's you, but they're really in love with another person. You could be the scapegoat. I think I just had a really hard time explaining that. I hope I said it okay. Give me 1 second. Like I said, I haven't smoked in a while, but I thought it was better than other things. I don't believe vices are good like that. And anytime I do, like, I'm not happy anywhere afterwards. I'm like, why the F did I do that to myself? But sometimes I just need to, instead of do something like dramatic to myself and not be here anymore, or go take another habit that I know is going to destroy me, I'll take a hit of weed and then I'll hide inside all day. Because it gives me that bad of anxiety. I know better than to. But also, if you open a certain door, it lets other doors back in. So be very careful. It can compromise your morals. For sure. I'm going to read some of your comments. Also, I know I said this on another video, but most people don't make it through all the way. If you want longer eyelashes, instead of getting like serums or anything else, for the past month, and you can go to videos from like a year to 2 years ago, I was literally, all my eyelashes fell off. I had no eyelashes until I turned to Jesus, real story. Until I turned to Jesus, I was under attack by so much witchcraft. All my eyelashes would fall off. My eyes were constantly infected until I turned to him, and God protects you from most attacks. You can still get skimmed by some attacks, but it's to make your enemies think they're winning. But literally, I don't have any mascara on or anything. My eyelashes, just from using Head and Shoulders, has grown so much. It's not even just the length, because I've always had long eyelashes, but it's the thickness. Like, it's super thick. If anyone can tag or like make a comment of when I just said that, for people that are trying to grow their eyelashes, you can put like eyelash growth at this time. I'd appreciate it for them. If not, it's whatever. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say it. This dream sounds like a situation I've been dealing with for 3 years. You know what's weird, Neen? Is the dream I've had, this has been going on for 3 years too. Yeah, you know what sucks, Johnny? Like, I loved the tarot cards because everything I was getting in my head would seem to line up. But I noticed a lot of demonic stuff happening in my house, and the lights would start flickering. I'd be getting bangs on the walls, everything else. And then suddenly one day, like, God kept putting a little urge. He's like, read the Bible, read the Bible. And I was like, whatever, like, okay. And one day I finally picked it up because he made it like, it wasn't just a read the Bible anymore. It was like, read the effing Bible. And I was like, so I picked it up. And God just started convicting me so much. It's like so many of us are looking for that unconditional love and looking for these answers and stuff. And even though it's a journey for all of us, and all of our journeys are different, so we can't judge someone else that is still stuck in tarot or anything else. Because when they get convicted, they will get convicted. And it's going to be up to them in the end to turn to God. All of us have free will. But he convicted me so heavily and showed me hell and other things. Like I was going to die. And he literally gave me that ultimatum. It's like, okay, you pick the cards. You pick doing this. Or face the consequences. I knew I had to. And when I stopped doing tarot for a month and I tried getting online and it just wasn't doing as well. And I had people unsubscribing because I turned to Jesus, which is going to happen. But when I did that, I went back to it for about 2 weeks. And God kicked my butt. And he showed me hell at that point. I'm going to get out of this right now, but I'm just saying like my experience. And that's why I say don't judge others that are still in tarot. But for me, he convicted me so hard. And he was like, okay, you pick it, me or that. And I was like, you. It took me a little bit, but I was like, you, 100% you. But that doesn't mean your gifts, because the devil tends to mimic the gifts that God has for you already. So when you eliminate that stuff, God is going to amp up your gifts more than you think. It's not just going to be spirits and demons speaking into you. It's going to be the Holy Spirit, and it's going to be Jesus. And you're going to help a lot more people that way and heal them. But that doesn't mean other tarot readers cannot help others. And I hope any Christians or Catholics watching this can understand that, because God has a different path for all of us. He told me to start my channel, and I didn't know why. And later he made me understand that even if it's 10 people that leave the tarot community, even if it's a few or a few tarot readers you get, you just help bring them to me and save their soul. Remember, everything we hear, though, is an opinion and not a fact for the most part. But this is what God personally has shown me. And I don't think we should be judging anyone. We are all human beings on this planet trying to exist. And it's not easy, especially this day and age. I did get a stalker is getting very irritated. And it's like, someone could have been a best friend. I'm just going to let it flow. Hold on. Someone could have been a best friend that is attacking you right now or constantly attacking you. This person, once again, can seem like, what was that word? Like a whitewashed wall. Like they're a whitewashed wall. They're so pure on the outside, but they are rotten inside. Like in the dream I had, this, once again, put yourself in my shoes for anyone new that came in. You are this person. At one point, you had this connection with someone you couldn't explain. And when you were in this connection with someone you couldn't explain, you could have found out months later or then that they had a significant other. This significant other, even though you left the scene, whether it be 2-3 years from then, this other significant other, that partner finally wants to leave them. And they could be thinking, you are the love of their life. So it is making this person go haywire and crazy. I have been getting this person's name for like the past month, and the other person that they're attached to for the past month. And I'm like, why? Because personally, me, I got over the situation a long time ago. It took a while because I've never had an experience like that. Never touched this person, never kissed this person, never slept with this person. But it was such a weird soul connection I can't explain. And when I first saw them, I've never had this happen since then. I've never had this happen before. But the first second I saw this person, I got husband. Hold on. Like, do you really want me to say that? I'll say a little of my situation. The first time I went into this place, it was this guy and his best friend. I was so attracted to his best friend at first. And then I had these like weird, obsessive vibes about this person. Like this person wouldn't leave my mind or my dreams over and over again. They'd always come in. And this person was so mean to me in person. And the best friend that I was first attracted to was not mean to me. To my face. I'll say that. But it was a really weird situation. And I just needed to remove myself from it. So I quit. And I got away from that and everything else. But this person kept coming to my mind. And for the past year, like they have not come to my mind until the past month. And this person's name is coming in my head nonstop. I'm seeing their car everywhere. I have been stalked recently. I'm not saying from this person. I'm not going to say who. But it has been wild. And I keep getting the ex-girlfriend's name. Which I have no care. I have no worry. So I'm like, why am I getting it? So I prayed on it, and God kept showing me through dreams what's going on. So you could be under very heavy attack right now. Your spiritual baths are important, just water or just water with salt. When I dunk my head, I say the Son, Father, and Holy Spirit, and I wash the water over my face. And you keep trying to be a good person and doing the right things by other people and by you and by God, God is going to protect you. Because when God has a purpose for you, the devil can never take that away. When God has a purpose for you, no matter how much these people are digging their own grave, building their own karma, and sending attacks your way, those are being sent back. They could even think that you are doing something so terrible because of all the terrible stuff they did to you. And like, that's why I didn't want to get on for days, because I was like, is this just my situation? And I kept getting no. And I keep getting to relay this kind of stuff online, and I kept deleting videos. But I just have to hold strong to God right now and not delete this video, because I know that other people are going through this. There's many of God's children going through this. And remember, we are all God's children. Do we pick him? That's up to us. But if you genuinely love him, no matter how upset you get, trust me when I say he has his hand over your life. He is watching you. He is loving you. Even if you believe in other gods right now, Jesus loves you. And if Jesus keeps coming into your life, if you're a different religion, and it keeps getting thrown in front of your face, that's because he's fighting for you. Unlike other gods would do. So-called gods. Most likely demons. But they would not fight for you the way Jesus will. And I know that can infuriate some of you. But if Jesus keeps popping himself in your life, he loves you. And he loves how you are dedicated to your religions, even though I don't want to say it's the wrong one or anything, because I don't feel like I have the rights to say that. But I'm getting what I'm getting from God. Even though, like, if you are like so good with your religion, whatever it may be, and everything else, and Jesus keeps coming into your life, he admires you from that. And he wants to be close to you. He wants to love you, and he wants to protect you, and he wants you to see the truth. It took me multiple times dying, saying I hate Christians and I hate religion, and being raised basically atheist, and once again dying to realize the truth that he showed me. But I know that it takes people coming on their own. I don't have the best words to say it. I've been losing full control over my neurological system, like literally. Before I got on, this muscle right here was just pulsating and freaking out in other muscles. Like, it was heavy metal toxin poisoning can do that to you. I've had a very hard time not just articulating my words, but like breathing, and I can't even explain it. I've never experienced anything like this. At first I thought I had MS, and then when I stopped eating at a certain place, I realized it was only when I ate there, or left my makeup here, or had a product here. No matter how much you don't want to believe it, no matter how much you forgive a person, if God keeps putting it in your face, and that, even if it's not God for you, whatever it may be, that gut instinct, that little urge, that little tick, is a warning. People are so good at playing a part and playing fake roles. And this person not only knows how loving I am and loyal I am and forgiving I am, but they know no matter what, I will sit there and I'll try to see their point of view and love them. But the fakeness keeps coming through. And they get so cocky to the point where they'll mimic the words I say. What they know I'm close to, trying to be closer to the Holy Spirit and God and everything else. But the way this person said it last night was so conniving and manipulative, and just a laugh in my face. And I was like, and they just closed the door laughing, like I was too stupid to understand. If you have a best friend or someone you used to date, and they suddenly, it's not going to be for all people, just remember that, pray on this, but if they just suddenly It's if you have this weird feeling about them. Like when you feel it and hear it, you just can't really comprehend, or you're like, trust that as an F you. Because this person saying this stuff to me last night, it was basically reciting things I said in the past. They started mimicking me with the Bible, the music I listen to, like every other single thing. And maybe they do like that stuff, and I'd be very grateful and proud. And that's why I was like thanking God, like this person started reading the Bible. But the thing is, they blew their cover once again. Out of all the times they blew their cover, they blew it again last night when they went to close my door, and they were like, I offered them ice cream sandwiches I just bought and some chicken nuggies and mac and cheese. And when I said that, they were like, oh, and of course, they only eat my food if it's brand new. I bring it through the door and they haven't touched it, or they know they haven't touched it. And if I use certain spices in the house to make them food, they're like, what spices did you use? I'm like, why does it matter? One time I poured water in their cup because they were sick. And I went to pour water in their cup, and they were like, why did you do that? And I was like, you had water in there, right? And she had to calm herself down. So she's like, yeah. And the irritation couldn't get off her face. And I knew not to drink that water beforehand because I got really sick from it. People will try to get you closer again and try to draw you in again so they can hurt you. Not all people that you forgave because they know your heart, they know your soul, they know you're forgiving and loving, they know you're alone and you just want people around them or need people around you, stuff like that. These people will pretend to be nicer to you again. They will pretend to put on an act and like the things you like, everything else, just so they can get close enough to touch you again, to hurt you again. Be careful of these people. I'm gonna read some of your messages. Amber, you're so cute. You said eyelash growth now. I meant if anyone was watching at the time, I said if you're brand new in here, I haven't ever done eyelash serums or anything like that, but my eyelashes from past videos used to always fall out. Use Head and Shoulders for at least 3 weeks straight, and your eyelashes will like almost be at your eyebrows. Depending, I know there's certain things. I am Italian, but I'm also like Irish and German, and they don't usually have long eyelashes. Anyways, it's the thickness mostly. Like the thickness will really change. No, it's not. It's just the regular Head and Shoulders here. I have to carry all my shampoo and conditioner with me all the time. So if you ever see me with a book bag, there's one reason I'm carrying a book bag 24/7. And so I can keep my stuff safe. Just the classic clean. This is what I've been using. It's been over 3 weeks now, but I just use it probably a month now. But it was about 2 weeks after I was like, what the F? Like my eyelashes have honestly been longer. I just got something in my eye. Than they've been in a very long time. Definitely like the thickness over everything else, like the thickness got really long. Ooh, I want to read this. Hold on. Charles, I'm going to read yours after. I just feel like that's more of a compliment for me, and I don't need to read that out loud. I can read it later and be very grateful. But Pat Gamble, real fast. I left tarot because I was starting to get them in my house and in my bed room. I would pray and pray lots, and I still do yet today. That's what I mean, like, and usually those demons don't really, we live in such a spiritual world, you can't even like comprehend it, but it just seems crazy until you experience it. But like truly, the 3D compared to the spiritual realm and everything else, like the 3D doesn't even compare to that because it is so much more real. You ask God, Jesus, for signs, he will show you that he's real. Like if you ask for the sign, like, are you really real? Are you here? Watch a rainbow pop out in front of you. Watch a cross show up in front of you. Watch someone come up and talk to you about God. It is bizarre. Because when I was really trying to leave tarot, because I kept getting convicted. I was like, you know what, God, you want me to leave my business? You want me to leave all this behind? If you're really real and it's you and it's the Bible version of you, you want me to see too, which I can get into more of that later because I don't want it to just be strictly religion. But praying to Jesus across, within 1 hour, across, the second I said that, showed up in front of me in the middle while walking to the woods. And when I got out, I went to this parking lot. There was all this steam that came out around me and started floating up, and it felt like angels and it looked like angels. And I was like, I smiled and I was like, that's you, God. And a freaking rainbow shot out of the sky. I have a video of this because I was so shocked when it happened on my YouTube. Then a rainbow popped out, and I walked like 3 more feet and I found my tripod, which I lost a month ago. All in the same spot. The day I decided to throw out my business and trust God in providing for me, which He has. You have full faith in Him. He will protect you. Even in the Bible, it says, like, you will drink poison and you will not die. There's many times I should have died where I was in bed for like a month. I stopped eating at home and I started gaining weight back again. Like, I was skin and bones. You could see all my ribs. To the point people were like, oh, she must be on drugs. Y'all are assholes if any of you from my past are watching this and thought that. Fuck you. Because it's just so crazy. It's like all that happened when I just can't. This world is so much more twisted than you think. I mean, if you download Newsbreak, there's literally news stories every day coming out of people that are gone or have been unalived. And it's usually from the people closest to them. And those people usually never see it coming because those other people are so fake. And the person that it's happening to, they don't want to listen to their intuition. They're just like, oh, that's a crazy thought. There's no way. This person loves me too much. Yeah, they love you so much that they don't want to see you with anyone else. Or they become so jealous because of the spirits and demonic energies attached to them that they try to take down your whole life. That's why forgive people, but don't let them back in. You can forgive some people and let them back in. But forgiveness to someone continuously assaulting you or abusing you or treating you like crap, why would you let them back in and trust them? You can forgive them genuinely. Make sure they're not in your life anymore. Wish and pray for the best for them. But letting certain people back in is another chance for them to try to destroy you and break you down and hurt you. I'm going to read some more of these. I want to be more connected with you guys. Usually the more connected I am with you guys too, I get more messages. Hey, Mike, honey. Read my last message for you and everyone else too. Okay. Hugs for you, Ireland, and anyone else that needs it right now. Thank you, Charles. I had a dream that my ex recently, and I've been thinking about him every day since, and I haven't really thought about him for months. What was the dream about, Jasmine, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, this message is for review. Oh, this is the one, Charles. I'm always here for you, Ireland. If you ever need anything at all, please do not ever hesitate to reach out. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate that. For some reason, when you do multiple emojis, they think of it as like a bot or spam, so it doesn't go through. Ireland, don't worry about them asses. Sorry for saying it. You're good, honey. I love you guys too. Does anyone have any questions or anything you want me to pray on or pray over? I think God not only uses all of us in certain ways, but like, I usually haven't been reading my messages and stuff like that on here but God put it in my heart to read them, and I really feel that urge to. And if there's anything I can pray over to try to get answers, I'm not going to give you them if I'm unsure, but if I get something very clear, I will tell you. I think a lot of us are here to love each other, help each other grow, and help each other find that truth they're looking for. I've been live for the past 60 minutes and 11 seconds, so 1 hour, 11 seconds. Sorry, I do have a vape right now if anyone doesn't like tobacco use. When I say the devil always attacks before like the biggest breakthrough and blessing, he does, because I stopped smoking the ganja, I stopped smoking the vape, I was taking, like, I was just down to my lozengers from kava, from kratom, from everything. And then when I went to that hotel, just everything skyrocketed. I literally got hit with like every demon, like suicide, everything. It was nuts. So you gotta be careful. I do want to see something though. I'm gonna do a poetry flip and see what someone needs to hear, and I'm getting home. Body, this is the one I feel called to. If you're tired and didn't end it where you wanted to go, that's still progress. Oh, that one's probably important too. Quiet down, I begged my mind. Your overthinking is robbing us joy. Not everything you do has to be self-improving. You are not a machine. You are a person. Without rest, your work can never be full. Without play, your mind can never be nourished. Balance. Someone could feel this way about you. You could feel this way about somebody. My body is so hot from wanting you. I'm spilling by the time we take our clothes off. I want the kind of love that transcends me into another realm. I want you so deep we enter the spirit world. Go from being gentle to rough. I want eye contact. I shouldn't read this one. This is pretty. Legs spread to opposite ends of the room and look with your fingers. I want my soul to be touched by the tip of you. I want you to come out of this room, different people. Can you do that? That's a little graphic, so I apologize. I'm careful about who I spend my energy on. I know my worth. Hold on. Also, just know, like, if you have gotten with someone or you really like someone and they weren't giving you the light of day, or they just kept like breadcrumbing you or bringing you on, you not responding to their things to hook up or escort or anything like that, that person's going to respect you so much more. If everyone else is falling at this person's feet and you know your worth as a human being, not like, I'm so much better, I'm so much more attractive, nothing like that. I mean, you as your personality, your genuine human, who you are, that person will respect you for not just giving yourself away to everyone or anybody. Someone could feel this way. It's weird that I got called to grab this book, but I can't take my eyes off of me. Now that I see myself, I can't take my mind off of me. Can't believe the tricks my hands have been up to. The sermons I spoke into it. Why do I feel like this is about the witchcraft that girl was doing on my dream to whoever it's about? Like, if this person's partner liked you, anything else like that, even if you weren't even trying anything with them, this reminds me of like lustful magic for one person, like a Jezebel spirit for them to attract everyone, like put the spell on them. Inauthentic. I can't take my eyes off of me. Now that I see myself, I can't take my mind off of me. I can't believe the tricks my hands have been up to, the sermons I spoke into existence, the mountains I crushed with my fingers, the mountains I built from all the shit people tried to stone me to death with. Warrior. When it says, though, I can't take my mind off me, can't believe the tricks my hands have been up to, that reminds me of sex magic. Have you randomly... I feel like, personally, I don't know if any of you can relate, but I feel like someone has been doing sex magic on me recently. Because like I said, I haven't thought about this person for years. And I know that their girlfriend or ex-girlfriend is a Wiccan. And they're a warlock or something. Like, genuinely, they don't hide it. I keep thinking about this person, and it just bothers me. It's like, if you're not going to talk to me or say anything to me, stop doing tricks on me to manifest me or something. You speak up or forever hold your fucking peace, because I'm not reaching out. Just saying, bro. Or not. Maybe I'm crazy, who knows? What a relief to discover that the aches I thought were mine alone are also felt by many others. That's true. What a relief to discover that the aches I thought were mine alone were felt by so many others. My body renews itself. It's like waves in the ocean. I need to grab another one. You lose everything when you don't love yourself and gain everything when you do. That's so true. When you stop loving yourself, you can really start treating like people in relationships. You can start treating a bunch of people like complete crap. Even like girls in relationships that get really jealous. I've been there before. Like, you will continuously push people away. Like, you think that your ex or someone is leaving you from someone else when really, like, your jealousy is pushing them away. Because they're like, that's not what I want to spend my life with. Imagine if someone was doing that to you. Like, you had a boyfriend or girlfriend, and every time you hung out with anyone, they were like, you're looking at them. You're doing this. You want this person. Let me show up at your work. Let me show up here. I'm going to freak out. There's a difference between someone showing a little bit of jealousy, like, that's cute, I'm happy that they feel that way, to I'm gonna effing murder you, and I am jealous of every person you hang out with. That is toxic. Like, and a lot of us have, like, unhealed trauma and different responses that can make it really hard. And it's like, that's why you have to be gentle on those people, but at the same time, not reprimanding someone on those actions and just letting them continuously do that to you. Not only is it going to make them not respect you anymore, but you are enabling that behavior. Those people need to go through therapy. They need to learn. They need to go through all that stuff. I've been in a position like that where I needed to learn. I needed to grow. I needed therapy to realize I'm the problem. Even if that person hurt me, they affected me and everything else, I needed to understand why I was feeling those feelings and emotions. Also, you could have a spirit attached to you. Just saying. Jezebel spirit. Simply because something is well known doesn't make it true. Simply because something is not known doesn't make it false. What's one thing you think is true? What is one thing you think is true that everyone else thinks is false? And those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. Today be mindful of your words. Be mindful of who you listen to. Amen. It is the person that makes truth great, not the truth that makes the person great. Truth means little without action. How can you act on truth to make it great? Zen. Whether our assumptions are true or false does not matter, for the individual shapes his or her reality on which he sees or which she seeks. Throughout your day, question your underlying assumptions. That's true. And something I was taught at a very young age is assumptions make an ass, and it's literally spelled that way, an ass out of you and them. If you don't know someone personally, If you don't know the situation they're in, if you don't know what they're going through or why the person responded the way they responded, do not make assumptions. That person could have just lost a family member, their parent, mother, husband, child. That person could be getting abused very heavily. That person just could have been RAP'd. Like, you don't know what someone's going through. That's why it's always best to take yourself out of the situation and put yourself in their shoes. 333 on the clock. Especially if you hear someone else saying something about someone else. Usually you'll be able to tell when someone's telling the truth, because if they're so like distraught and upset and like you can tell they're being genuinely disturbed by something, that probably means it's happening. This is just a tough situation if you're in that, because for like, even from things I've noticed, it's like the abusers usually go unpunished and everyone believes the abuser because they are so good at manipulating. And the person that tells the truth is either too blunt, too straightforward, or when they finally decide to cry and speak out, they just look crazy because they're so emotional. But if something terrible is happening to you over and over again, how are you going to word that? How are you going to get that out? Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. What actions did you take today that have caused a ripple effect? What were the intentions behind them? If you learn to reach out to help others, then you'll learn to reach out to help. If you learn to reach out to help others, then you'll learn to reach out to others for help. Today, ask one person how you can help. And you'd be surprised how many people don't have anyone. Some people are lucky if they get to see a family member once in a month or 2 months, and then every other day behind that, they could just be completely alone. Hold your heart. I'll give you a second. We're doing Blue's Clues right now. Hold your heart. Give it 3 taps or a few taps. Make sure you're feeling it. Rub it for a second. Now tell yourself, I love you. Especially if you're alone, especially if you feel like you have no one. Say, I love you. You are a human being too. And say, I deserve love. I deserve kindness. I deserve peace. I radiate confidence and positivity. I am healed. I am loved. Every pain, every lesson has a purpose. You're growing. You are healed. You are loved. If you have a mirror by you, look at you. Put your hand up to the mirror and hold your hand if you have nobody and say, I love you. Now look at yourself as if you've never seen yourself before. You have the heart you have, and no, I think it's Theo Fawn that said this. The thing that sucks the most about being alone is not that you don't have anyone, it feels like nobody has you. Put your hand on your heart, put it to the mirror. You need this. Look at yourself as a person that you love, that you would do anything for. Detach from anything you think you are and look at yourself as a fresh new human being and say, I love you. And if you start crying when you say that, it probably means you really need it. Be gentle with you. Be kind to you. And know that we all make mistakes. And that's okay. And we can do better. You are forgiven. You are loved. Hold your heart. Go out there and be kind. And most importantly, treat yourself with love and respect. Treat yourself with kindness, because if you don't, who's going to? Not in a cocky way, not as an I'm better than everyone else way, as you are a beautiful human being, and you deserve love, you deserve touch, you deserve genuine kindness. And even if I lose people continuously on this page, I'm going to get on for the people that need that love and kindness. Because you are not alone. And I know that pain. I'll pull one more card. Act as if what you do makes a difference. Because it does. Got my holding my heart and hand falling over here. Aw, I love you, Neen. I felt your pain when I was reading your messages earlier. And that broke my heart. If you guys would like, for the few people that have been here and you've been commenting and stuff, I can get on soon. I need to feed my cats and do a few things. And then I'd like to get back on and hang out with you guys. I personally, I feel like I've been punishing myself with getting on and just if I don't have anything important to say, don't say it at all. But God also put it in my heart, if there's only 2 people that relate to you and there's only 2 people that are subscribed, those 2 people may need you just as much as you need them. You never know who you can find online. Hopefully it's the good ones and not the bad. But I love you guys. I love you, Charles. I love you, Dan. I love you, Pat. I love you, Neen. Clinicsy at CLXXII. I love you, Johnny. Pat, Johnny, Clinicsy. Hold on, I want to read this one. Satan is not the devil. It's not God. In actuality, that's interesting. Like I said, everything you see in here is an opinion for the most part, not fact, unless we were there at that time. I'm very into hearing what anyone else has to say or trying to learn your views, but I also have found a lot of truth, no matter how much it can upset you at times, in the Bible with certain things. But we don't know how much has been twisted over thousands of years. We have no idea how much someone wanted to word certain things. So it is a big learning lesson, but I can tell you, if you read that Bible out loud, demons will flee. But $126. I actually need to go take that back. I and I alone am responsible for everything I think and feel. Choose how to feel today. Set an hourly reminder to check in with yourself. And we all have problems we can't solve by more thinking. Allow yourself to let go of whatever is stressing you out and invite sensations of peace to fill your idea space. Take great pleasure in simple actions. Enjoy the little things today. Bring a smile. I felt so much hate just come in. So bad. Enjoy the little things today. Bring a smile to your face with every coffee-friendly conversation and good meal and shower. I love you guys. Anger kills creativity. I felt that anger come in, bro. Anger kills creativity. If you get irritated today, note the emotion as soon as it arises, then let it go. Can you let your creativity flourish? And remember, if a friend constantly brings you down in front of other people, if they brag to people that they punched you in the face, if they try to discredit any wins you have, that's not a friend. And like I said, forgiveness is important, but letting people continuously come in your life and disrespect you is not. You deserve better than that. Some people are really unhappy in their life and in their relationships they're in and they chose, and they take it out on you for not making the same dumb mistakes. I love you guys.